I'd played it safe with money all my life, and it hadn't got me where I wanted to be. Hi everyone, welcome back. And if you're new here, I am Naho, and this is Am I Too Late? The podcast for late starters who want to build financial confidence and take control of their future, one honest step at a time. Okay, so today's episode is all about knowing your numbers. Not just the day-to-day stuff, but the big picture of your finances. It's about understanding where you actually stand and whether what you have is really enough for the future you want. Because once you know these numbers, you can stop guessing and start focusing on what to prioritize to build a better future for you. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but I promise it's really worth it. Once you've done this, everything else becomes a lot clearer. If you listen to my previous episode, you might remember the moment I realized that I need to get my act together to sort out my finances. This episode is me helping you to have your version of that moment, hopefully sooner than I did. And for me, one of the first things I had to face was my pensions. I was working at a university with a very generous pension scheme, but it worked differently from the private sector ones I was aware of. So it was quite difficult and confusing for me to get my head around it at first. Before that, my pension history was patchy. Back in the early 2000s, when I first started working, employer pensions were mandatory. And if you worked for small companies like I did, you might not have had one at all. So I went to a pension seminar at work and then spent some of my holidays digging through paperwork and trying to make sense of it all. Because I knew avoiding it wasn't doing me any favors. And when I finally did manage to track down where all my scattered pension pots were and how much was in them, I was actually shocked. Not in a good way. It was quite laughable, really, even though I shouldn't laugh. It was around £2,000. That was meant to last for my entire retirement. Well, one thing's for sure, I wasn't going to be retiring in Mauritius anytime soon. Anyway, after doing that prep, I booked a free 1-hour call with a financial advisor. It helped confirm what I had understood and gave me some reassurance that I was on the right track. He gave me sensible advice, like paying off my mortgage and putting more into my pension. All sound and all safe, but I knew I wanted more than just safe. I'd played it safe with money all my life, and it hadn't got me where I wanted to be. It wasn't about chasing big risk, it just felt like I didn't have a choice anymore. If I was going to move forward, I had to start taking some risks. So that was my wake-up moment. It wasn't about being bad with money. It was about awareness and not looking at the right numbers. Now, let's talk about numbers. What do I mean by knowing your numbers? It means getting a clear, honest picture of your financial life. This isn't about shaming yourself or feeling guilty. It's simply about seeing the reality of your situation. Here are the 5 core numbers to start with. Number 1, income. What's coming in each month? Like salary, freelance work, rental income, side hustles, anything you count on regularly. Number 2, fixed expenses. Rent or mortgage, utilities, council tax, subscriptions, and debt repayments, all the non-negotiables. Number 3, pensions. Even if you don't know the exact amount, just knowing where they are is a great first step. Number 4, savings and assets. These are emergency fund, savings account, investments, equity in your property, or anything else of value you own. Number 5, debts and liabilities. Credit cards, student loans, personal loans, buy now, pay later balances, and even money borrowed from your friends or family you plan to pay back goes here too. So that's it. They're the first key 5 numbers. Once you've gathered these numbers, you start to see your financial picture more clearly. It might feel confronting at first, but clarity is power. When you know your situation, you can start making informed, confident decisions. Okay, now it's your turn. Before the next episode, I would like you to go through your 5 numbers. Income, fixed expenses, pensions, savings and assets, and debts and liabilities. You don't have to finish it all in one go. Block out some time this or next week, depends on what day of the week you're listening to this. Maybe a couple of hours or 2 or 3 shorter sessions. The important thing is to get started and not to give up. I'll put together a free worksheet to guide you through this, so check the show notes and get your copy. It's practical, color-coded, and hopefully it will make things a bit easier as you go through this process. Or if you are allergic to spreadsheet, just grab a notebook and start writing down what you know. If you're missing some details, that's totally fine. Just know what's missing and that becomes your to-do list. This prep might feel like a pain and take a bit of time, but it's absolutely worth it. You get an instant snapshot of your finances, seeing clearly if your income and outgoings are aligned and where you might be able to save by making some small adjustments. We are not aiming for perfection here, just clarity. And when you can see the whole picture, you stop avoiding it, you stop guessing, and you start making decisions. I think one of the reasons many of us didn't learn this stuff earlier is that no one around us ever really talked about money. And maybe it's time we change that. Not by making big statements, but just by having more open, everyday conversation with people we trust. You don't have to share these numbers if you don't want to, but if you've got a friend or sibling you trust, do it together can actually help. If you want a bit of accountability, feel free to tag me or send me a message on Instagram at Am I Too Late Podcast and tell me, Naho, I've done the homework. I'd love to hear how it went for you. Don't forget to hit follow or subscribe so you don't miss the next episode, because this prep for your numbers is essential for our next super important steps. In part 2, we're going to take things further. We'll talk about how to calculate your net worth, how to do a quick but powerful spending audit, what to watch out for when it comes to lifestyle creep, and how to build a system that reflects what actually matters to you. So take your time, do the homework, and remember, you are not too late. You're here now, and that's what matters. Let's start today. As always, here's the disclaimer. Everything I share here comes from personal experience and learning. This podcast is for information only and isn't financial advice. Please do your own research and talk to a professional financial advisor to find what's right for you.